Hey, I'm Fletcher. I play guitar and keys for the Ricky Fits.
I'm Alec, and I play drums and percussion.
I'm Matt, and I play keys and bass, and our singer Elliot is in our hearts today.
Yeah. We are everything you didn't know you needed. We like to make you move. I oftentimes have a hard time describing who we are exactly. It's tough to nail down, but I feel like we're a nice blend of just a lot of today's popular genres, alternative and pop, but at the same time, we kind of possess a sort of nostalgia that is able to reel everyone else in.
Well, yeah. See, I moved back to Phoenix from LA a few years ago, and was looking to put a project together, and posted an ad on Craigslist. And this guy, about 2 months later, came and auditioned, and we hit it off right away. And from day one, we just started planning. Like, it was just like, let's start writing. Let's just make it work. And initially we didn't really know what we were gonna do. We had thought about just like doing almost like a 21 Pilots type of tracks driven, just like a live drummer, and then I would just multi-instrumental or whatever. But I think once the song started taking off and we started kind of seeing the potential, we were like, we gotta bring in some reserves.
We need some more bodies, yeah.
Yeah, so Alec brought in Fletcher to play guitar and keys, and I brought in Elliot, who's our main singer.
I think that we all just really dig movies, and art just in general inspires us just as much as music does. And so American Beauty was a movie that we kind of all grew up with a little bit, and just thought that it was a really cool reflection of how the 90s were, and like a little bit of our childhood, more so like.
Yeah. I mean, we all kind of, like, forming a band name is hard, So I think the approach we took was, let's find something we all love, just within the realm, any realm of art. And I think we kind of all found that we identified with Ricky Fitz, who's actually a character in that movie.
The pop culture state.
Exactly. Yeah. He kind of stuck the middle finger up to, the norm and the path commonly chosen, and left school to pursue his art. And that's as much of a symbol as there is right there. We all kind of rallied around that idea. So.
And it's got a nice little ring to it.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of cool.
Sounds alright.
So I picked up guitar at 10, and I bought AC/DC's Highway to Hell, and that kind of did it for me. And then just started playing at churches and grew up in that kind of environment, and then met Alec through that, and here I am.
Yeah, I just remember wanting to drum my whole life. Since the moment I was born. I don't know if that was like a subconscious thing, because my uncle played in drum corps, and that was something I was just around since the day I was born. I was always hitting stuff, wanting to drum, but kind of like most families, weren't able to afford a drum kit and didn't want the noise that came with it until I was about 13. I finally got my first kit, and from there, kind of a similar story. I just started playing in churches for my first live setting, and have been doing session work and have been playing with bands ever since. So,
yeah. I started playing guitar when I was maybe 14 or 15. I was a little bit of a late bloomer, and I grew up in the Midwest in a small town in Iowa. So there was no one around really. There's no guitar shops or anything like that, and it was pre-internet, so I had to self-teach, so I have all these terrible little, what do you call them, little habits or whatever, but they make for my own interesting sound, I guess. But later on I went to college in Minneapolis for recording, and then last 10 years or so I've been playing in bands or teching for some other bands and whatnot.
Yeah. I'd say our main platform right now is through playing live. We've really focused the last 2 years on not only gaining just a large fan base and support base here, but along the West Coast too. We've made it a point to get our name around in LA and surrounding areas, and it's gone well. We've been invited back a lot. We've gotten some really cool opportunities, like playing the first Lost Lake Festival. We've gotten a chance to play Pot of Gold. So like I said, our goal kind of was to establish a fan base around here and really immerse ourselves in the Arizona scene. I feel like we've done a really good job of that.
Yeah, I think that just from a band standpoint, how we've grown, a lot of it has been we just set goals for ourselves, and I think that's what it's always been. Is just like kind of picking where we want to go and sticking to that. We decided, like, it's kind of unconventional for bands to release a full record right out of the gate, and that was just kind of what we wanted to do, and we did it, and it paid off. And then a couple months after we released that, we're like, all right, what do we want to do next? And we're like, play a major music festival. We got Pot of Gold in Lost Lake, and so I think just in itself, it's kind of given us confidence that what we're creating is actually like working, and so that's kind of really nice to see something you love pay off. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think musically, we've all matured and grown as well. Just from the amount of live playing we've done, and we've just over the year expanded our sound too. I'm excited for our new stuff. It's you can hear the growth. You can hear a little bit of growing up in the new songs.
We all listen to a bunch of different stuff too, and I think that's really like manifested itself in these new tracks. It's just like it's different, but it's kind of one big mosaic of everything.
Yeah, I feel like the first record was kind of a conglomeration of some songs that had been written and some stuff that we had kind of like Nightmare we wrote in about 30 seconds, which is cool. Like we just started jamming on it and then it was just finished in a couple hours or whatever. But I think this process now, like we've all kind of just figured each other out, like what our roles are and who, like how we want to play and what we want to sound like, and we all are always sharing music with each other, and like our group text is like it's like when's practice and whatever, but it's normally just sending of Spotify songs or YouTube videos. Basically everyone just trying to, and we all come from different, I think we all like if we're driving with each other, we all like each other's music, but we all come from a different angle, and that's what makes it so special, is that we all hold very dear what's important to us, and then when all four of us are happy with the song, it's magic.
Yeah, it's a good blend.
I would say that there really isn't any shortcuts. There are somewhat fast tracks, and you can plan as much as you can. I would say really like try to make a plan and try to set yourself goals and whatnot, but it really is about trying to become decent at your instrument, trying to write songs that people are gonna like, and then trying to have your stage show sound and go smoothly. And as long as you can focus on those three things, then at least you have a product, and then you can start trying to sell it.
Yeah, I was gonna say something super similar, just to kind of piggyback, like just have patience.
Yeah.
I know in my first few bands in high school, we just wanted to get something recorded and out, and wanted to start playing shows, didn't really care about the quality of the product. But if you take your time and just put the proper amount of care and work into something, you can hear it, and it's worth it. We were a band for almost an entire year without having released anything or played a show. And once we did, opportunities just left and right were coming out.
Make sure that you get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's it too. It's just really like sticking to who you are. I think that there's so many talented musicians out there, and that really what's gonna make or break it is if you do what you really want to do, and you're like, because at the end of the day, you're only gonna be happy if it's what you love doing.
That's
And
that's such a good point, and because like nothing is guaranteed, no success is guaranteed. The only thing that is guaranteed is that whatever record you make is what you're gonna have to listen to for the rest of your life or however long.
yeah.
So you might as well make it something that you're really proud of and that you like and that you believe in.
Yeah, because you can't be proud of it first and foremost.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think our plans to expand are kind of similar to the same plan and goal we've had all along. You know, it's just it's baby steps, but yeah, we have a full record's worth of new stuff ready, and I think the plan, kind of like what we just touched on, is to make these songs as good as they can be, get them right, and you know we're hoping to expand, obviously area wise, and play music in new locations, but yeah, we're just trying to get our new stuff out there. We're excited for people to hear it. It's still us, but it's fresh, and
I think once the music
Yeah.
gets out there,
Yeah.
it's going to kind of be determinant on where we're going, and I think that's how we feel most comfortable pressing forward, is letting the music take us.
yeah, exactly. We're just letting the music lead, but
Yeah.
we're confident in it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're confident in where it's, you know.
Where we think it will take
Yeah.
us, for sure.
I think music has a drastic impact on society, and I guess it has the potential for good and bad, you know. But I mean, all we want to do is make people happy, and to want to be real though too. That's the thing, is we're a pop band for sure, but I come at it from an indie perspective or something. Like, I want there to be depth to what we're doing. I want people to be happy, but I also want it to be real. You know, we're not trying to, like, I guess it's an escape, but it's supposed to be an enlightened escape, if that makes sense. One not to just forget about everything, but one to maybe really think about your life.
Yeah, not like an ignorant bliss
Right.
type of
Right.
escape, but like a reflective escape,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
positive escape.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I think, you know, even myself personally, I've played in bands that were, I feel like, you know, maybe the songs were darker or something, and I think I needed that at that time, and I think everyone needs certain things at certain times, you know? Like, I used to always say Britney Spears needs to exist, because it's like, sometimes you need something that's bubblegum, and sometimes you need something that's like deep, and sometimes you don't always want something that's so heavy, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's always a time for everything, and so I think what we're trying to do is, like I said, try to maybe make people feel a little bit happier, and also trying to move the whole collective conscious, doing what we can to push it forward, I guess, you know?
Anyway, like I said, I can't speak for these guys completely, but my inspiration typically is just when I'm listening to other people's music, and the way that I feel, and I'm able to escape into that. I just passionately want to be that for somebody else. Yeah, so when I get in those moments is when I feel most inspired, and that just sticks with me. You know?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that, like, band-wise, for inspiration, like, I think we all feel that a little bit, that we want to just help people with our music. I think that's always been an end goal. Band-wise, though, a lot of, like, indie alternative stuff, Tame Impala, you know, Arctic Monkeys and all that stuff, they're super cool. Guitarists, for me personally, I love Nile Rodgers and Mateus Azado and B.B. King and stuff like that. Like, I'm a nerd about that stuff, so that gets me hyped. But
That's what's cool about music right now, I feel like, especially the like indie pop, is that there's like a resurgence of everything that's ever been cool.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, we're so lucky right now.
And you
'cause
can
it's
use
like,
it all.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's like a big free for all.
Because, I mean, just like everyone else, like, I grew up, like, Michael Jackson was my favorite, and like, Prince, and, like, David Bowie, and just like everyone else. But
Yeah.
right now, the music is, like, it's freedom, you know? You can do whatever you want to do right now. You can have the craziest synthesizers, and you can have these crazy vocal effects, or it's all about just the art right now.
Yeah.
more than anything.
As long as
And
it sounds cool as
if it sounds cool, if it feels good, it is good.
Yeah.
I'm serious though. I've literally thought about what I would do without music, and I don't know. I just even just listening to it, I can't even imagine that kind of world, man. I wouldn't be me. Let's say that. Yeah.
No, I mean,
I have other hobbies, but
yeah, I mean, I think to get like sort of deep, you know, like I'm a Christian, so stuff like that is always going to be like kind of the center. But I think that music has always been kind of an extension of that and another way to kind of reveal myself. And I think that, you know, it's just something that I'm always thankful for. And so it's almost inseparable. You know, it feels like part of my DNA almost. But.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I mean, music has been so much of my identity since I was so young even. I remember trying to do the moonwalk when I was like 7 or 8 in my garage in Texas, I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, it's just always been, I don't know, I mean, I'm assuming I would have just figured something else out, but I'm glad I didn't have to.
I mean, he could best talk about the recording process than any.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if what you're focusing on is on growth, that's like the perfect example, because when we started this project, it's not really like a business where you have this idea and you get a certain amount of money and you go and buy the oven and the refrigerator you need for your kitchen or whatever. It's like, first we were trying to see if we can write with each other, and then once we did, like, how are our live shows going to go, and do we like playing with each other, and so it's like a forever growing and like changing thing. And so it's only once you know you're even capable of doing something that you even think to do it before, you know what I mean? Like when you're just starting off, you don't think about playing a huge festival show, but then once you get to a certain point, you're like, we can totally do that. It's not hard at all, you know? But the other point I was going to make was that, like, from a recording aspect, we recorded The Great Beyond in my guest bedroom with like knockoff microphones, a borrowed laptop, initially like no plugins, like it was all stock plugins, like, and we made it work, you know, and 5 of those songs have been on the radio.
Yeah.
And so now, you know, now that we know that we have this thing that is like special and working, we obviously have started to build on what we initially did, but, you know, with better gear, better microphones, better preamps, whatever, you know. But I don't think you have to have everything to get started ever in anything. Whether you're trying to be a construction worker or you're trying to be a musician or a chef, like, use what you have and get good with what you have, and just bring in a few things as you develop talent, and it works.
Yeah. I feel like that's how the recording process has been too. It's just like, you know, it hasn't been like, all right, 5 days, let's record all the songs. It's been kind of like, hey, come in today, and like, you know, you're gonna grow as a musician over that course of time. And I feel like that's kind of shown in the record too. It's like you come back, you're like, oh, that part is sounding better than when I played it last time. So
Yeah, definitely. And it's something too, like, say you have 10 songs you want to work on, instead of tracking all the drums for them in one day. Well, especially if you're recording at your house or you're learning as you go, like, maybe it is better to do 10 different days, because you're going to learn 10 different times. Like, instead of 10, try 10 different ways, and then, you know, give yourself the chance to screw up too. You have to be like totally fine with screwing up multiple times and screwing up in front of people. You know, like, the thing is, like, I play bass and keys in the band, but I also have been, you know, basically producing, or at least engineering the records. And on this new record, we're gonna send it off to get mixed, just to save us some time and just to speed up the process. But everything else, you know, there's gonna be times where you work on something for 10 hours and show it to someone, and the first thing they say is, "What's wrong with it?" You know, and you have to, like, it's all right, it's all good. You just keep moving, and really you have to develop your own voice that you listen to, because you need to take advice from people that you care about, and you need to have people in your life that you can trust, and so on. But there's going to be times where maybe they just won't see the vision the way you see it, and you have to just know it's right and finish it. And then once it's done, maybe they'll see it, maybe they won't, you know. But you got to believe in yourself. Try to
just
make
like
it to everything at
the
the
Ricky
Ricky
Fits.
Fits.
Yeah.
The Ricky Fits, we're everywhere. Yeah.
Awesome.
Twitter, Facebook,
Spotify.
Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music,
YouTube.
Amazon Music. I don't know who uses that, but If you for some reason use Amazon Music, we're
Just
there.
coming at Amazon
Google,
Music users.
Google Play if you have an Android.
Don't listen to us if you listen to Amazon.
Freaking Android users, man.
If you go to therickyfits.com, I think there's a merch section you can buy there. We got like astronauts. And,
The best way though is to come to a show.
yeah.
Come to a show,
Then we can give it.
party with us, and then hang out with us. Come to a merch booth and pick up a shirt. We got hats. We got
hats. We got download cards.
we have a lot of other stuff.
Once we
got
get
a
these
lot
new
of stuff.
songs out, we're gonna roll out some summer.
Yeah,
wear.
just wait.
yeah,
just
we'll
wait.
do that.
But yeah, come to a show. Keep up with those shows. Best place is probably our website or Facebook. All of our events are posted there. But yeah, like Songkick, all those websites with that just keep track of band shows.
Bands in town.
Yeah, we're uploaded. Bands in town, all that. Yeah. So
Good.
yeah, just keep an eye out for an album release show because that is
The next.
that will be coming soon, and we're gonna make it a party. You're not gonna want to miss it.
I'm Matt,
I'm Alec.
And Fletcher.
Elliot's in our hearts.
and we are the Ricky Fits.